Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome to Jinjin's Cosmic. If you didn't happen to be here, perhaps it's time to meet your soul. Have you ever stood at the edge of the deep ocean at dusk? There's a profound stillness to the surface, a glassy calm that reflects the fading sky. It appears peaceful, almost inviting. But you are acutely aware that beneath that serene veneer lies a world of crushing pressure, silent, powerful currents, and a darkness that holds ancient secrets. You know that this calm is not a sign of emptiness, but of immense, hidden power. That ocean, in all its majestic and terrifying duality, is the most fitting metaphor for the soul of a Scorpio. They are, without question, the great enigmas of the Zodiac. They move through the world shrouded in an aura of quiet intensity, drawing people in with a magnetic charm and an almost sacred sense of loyalty. Yet, even those closest to them often feel an instinctive sense of caution, an understanding that there are locked chambers within the Scorpio psyche that one should never, ever try to force open. Today, we are not just going to list a series of personality traits. We are going to embark on a deep psychological expedition. We will decode the intricate operating system of the Scorpio, exploring the 20 fundamental pillars of their character. We'll examine how these pillars make them some of the most profoundly kind, nurturing, and unforgettable individuals you could ever hope to meet. And we will explore how those very same pillars, when compromised, make them the most formidable and dangerous adversaries one could ever face. This isn't just about astrology. It's a masterclass in the psychology of power, loyalty, and survival. And the second reason we will discuss is a profound insight into emotional intelligence that will forever change the way you perceive them. But before we unlock that first chamber, I want to hear from you. In the comments below, please share your zodiac sign and tell us the single greatest misconception people have about it. The stories and patterns that emerge in our community are always deeply illuminating. Now, take a deep breath. Let's begin. Number 20. The unbreakable vow of loyalty. At the very bedrock of the Scorpio identity lies a concept of loyalty so profound it borders on the sacred. For a Scorpio, loyalty isn't a casual social agreement or a flimsy promise. It is an unspoken, unbreakable vow. When they consciously decide to welcome you into their heavily fortified inner circle, they are making a declaration to the universe. This individual is now under my protection. Their struggles are my struggles. An attack on them is an attack on me. This manifests in the most active and fierce form of support imaginable. They are the friend who will answer your call at 3 a.m. without hesitation, ready to face any crisis alongside you. They will vehemently defend your reputation in rooms you have never even entered. They will champion your ambitions with a ferocity that can sometimes be startling, even to you. This isn't a performance for social credit. It is a primal instinct. They protect their own because, in their mind, your destinies have become intertwined. However, herein lies the critical danger. Because this loyalty is treated as a sacred text, its violation is seen as the ultimate form of sacrilege. Betraying a Scorpio doesn't just hurt their feelings. It fundamentally shatters a core law of their personal universe. The instant that trust is irrevocably broken, it's not just anger or sadness that follows. A switch is flipped deep within their psyche. The vow is not just broken, it is incinerated. Their response is rarely a display of loud, theatrical anger. It's something far more chilling, a deliberate, systematic, and complete withdrawal of their energy. The warmth you once knew, that intense focus, evaporates and is replaced by an impenetrable wall of glacial indifference. They will not scream or make a scene, because in their new reality, you're no longer worthy of that emotional expenditure. They will simply, and with terrifying quietness, erase the contract. The door to their inner world, once held open for you, will be locked, bolted, and the key dissolved. This isn't about drama, it's about radical self-preservation. Their loyalty is the most precious gift they can bestow, but its withdrawal is a silence more profound and more final than any threat. Number 19, the empathic soul reader. While many people are capable of compassion, a Scorpio's empathy operates on an entirely different, almost psychic, frequency. They do not merely sympathize with your emotions from a distance. They absorb them. They possess a finely tuned emotional radar that is perpetually scanning the undercurrents of every human interaction. They can enter a room and immediately feel the unspoken tension. They can listen to you recount a story and hear the precise shape of the pain you are trying to hide behind your carefully chosen words. This makes them extraordinarily gifted counselors, healers, and friends. When a Scorpio focuses their empathetic energy on you, they make you feel understood on a soul level. Their advice is often shockingly insightful because it targets the exact source of your turmoil, a source they can feel as a faint echo within themselves. They read energy, they sense intention, and they value raw authenticity above all else. You cannot maintain a facade of happiness around them if you are suffering. They will feel the dissonance, and it will trigger their instinct to either help or become suspicious. The dangerous facet of this trait is a direct consequence of its profound power, because they understand the architecture of emotion so intimately. They also know the precise location of a person's deepest insecurities, their most fragile scars, and their most potent emotional wounds. When in a state of trust and love, they would use this knowledge to protect you and help you heal. But if you betray that trust, they are left holding the blueprint to your emotional vulnerabilities. They may not even need to act on this knowledge directly. Often, their most devastating weapon is to simply articulate a truth about you that you have hidden even from yourself. Their ability to feel everything means that when they are wounded, the pain is not a surface scratch. It is a deep, resonant, and complex injury that they will analyze and remember with crystalline clarity. This empathy makes them the kindest and most understanding of souls, but it also makes them the most formidable of adversaries, because their weapons are forged from the very truths you shared with them. Number 18. The silent strategist never, ever mistake a Scorpio's quiet demeanor for a lack of awareness or engagement. In any social or professional setting, while others are filling the air with noise, the Scorpio is often in a state of silent, high-level data collection. They are observing and analyzing with the precision of a grandmaster in chess. They are cataloging subtle shifts in body language, nuances in vocal tone, the flicker of an eye, and the minute inconsistencies between what a person says and the energy they are projecting. This is why they often appear so calm and composed, sometimes even aloof. But it is a grave mistake to assume nothing is happening beneath the surface. Their mind is a whirlwind of pattern recognition and strategic analysis. They are constantly connecting dots that most people do not even perceive. This behavior is not born from a place of cold judgment, but from a deeply ingrained survival instinct, the need to understand the true power dynamics and emotional landscape of any situation before they commit to a course of action. This makes them extraordinarily difficult to manipulate, deceive, or outmaneuver. By the time you have formulated a plan to mislead them, they have likely already sensed your intention days in advance. They might even allow you to proceed, feigning ignorance, simply to observe your full strategy and confirm their initial suspicions. Their silence is not a passive state. It is an active, offensive tactic. It unnerves people and encourages them to reveal more of themselves, all while the Scorpio is gathering invaluable intelligence. When provoked, this vast library of observational data becomes a lethal strategic arsenal. They do not react with impulsive, blind rage. They respond with a single, calculated move based on the wealth of information they have silently and patiently accumulated. Their action, when it comes, is timed for maximum impact and executed with devastating precision. People perpetually underestimate the quiet ones, but with a Scorpio, that is their single greatest advantage. They are always thinking several moves ahead, and they never reveal their true hand until the moment of checkmate. Number 17. The enigma of presence. There is an undeniable and powerful magnetic field that surrounds the Scorpio. It's an aura of profound mystery and quiet intensity that draws people in, often without any conscious effort on the Scorpio's part. It isn't about physical appearance or witty conversation. It's a palpable energy, a presence that can alter the atmosphere of a room and communicate a sense of deep waters and hidden power. This makes people intensely curious, creating a desire to solve the puzzle, to be the one who gets to see behind their watchful, knowing eyes. The fundamental truth, however, is that you can never fully solve the puzzle of a Scorpio. They are the ultimate masters of curated vulnerability. They will show you precisely what they choose for you to see. A carefully constructed persona that allows for a genuine connection but simultaneously protects their sacred inner core. The vast, complex, and sometimes chaotic inner world remains veiled, accessible only by explicit invitation. This mystery is intoxicating and deeply compelling when they are being kind and open with you. It makes a connection feel incredibly special, as if you are one of the very few who has been granted a glimpse behind the velvet curtain. But when provoked, this very same mysterious energy becomes their most formidable defense. It transforms into a cold, distant, and impenetrable fog. They can withdraw into themselves so completely that it feels as though you are speaking to an entirely different person, a polite but hollow stranger. You cannot control someone whose next move is fundamentally unpredictable because it is driven by a deep, ancient instinct, not by a transparent, logical, or easily readable process. When they make the decision to cut you out, they do so with a silent and unnerving finality. The magnetic pull you once felt is switched off, leaving a cold, empty void where it once was. People fall in love with the mystery, but they often forget that a shadow cannot exist without a light, and a Scorpio embodies the full spectrum. When they disconnect, it's not a temporary mood swing. It is a permanent redaction of your security clearance to their soul. Number 16. The art of intentional listening. In our modern world, most people do not listen. They simply wait for their turn to speak. A Scorpio, however, listens with an intention and focus that is rare and powerful. When they grant you their attention, it is a singular, all-encompassing event. Their gaze is locked, their posture is engaged, and the ambient noise of the world seems to fade into the background. In that moment, they make you feel as though you are the most important person in their universe. This extraordinary quality makes people feel profoundly seen, valued, and validated. Scorpios have an uncanny capacity to remember the most minute details of a conversation you had months, or even years, prior. This is not because they possess a perfect memory, but because when you were speaking, they were genuinely absorbing not just your words, but the emotional context and subtext beneath them. They listen to understand, not to respond. But this very intensity creates a sharp, dangerous edge. It means they are also listening for the subtle dissonances, the slight hesitations, the tells of a deception. They are constantly processing your words against the established baseline of your character. If you lie to a Scorpio, they may not confront you in that moment. There will be no dramatic accusation. Instead, a silent, internal alarm is triggered. From that point forward, they will be observing you through a new lens of critical suspicion. The moment they connect the dots and their intuition confirms the lie, something inside them fractures. The trust is tarnished. And for a Scorpio, a tarnished trust is often emotionally irreparable. They will begin the process of quiet disengagement, systematically closing the doors of intimacy that were once open to you. You may still be a physical presence in their life. They may even smile at you. But you will feel the growing chasm of the emotional distance. Their focused listening is a profound gift of respect. To misuse that gift is, in their eyes, the ultimate betrayal. And it will cost you the genuine, soul-deep connection you once had. Number 15. The fierce guardian. When a Scorpio brings you into their heart, be it as a friend, a family member, or a romantic partner, you fall under a unique and formidable form of protection. They become your silent, unwavering guardian. This is not about being loud, ostentatious, or aggressive in your defense. It's a quiet, potent, and intensely strategic fire that burns within them. If someone threatens you, disrespects you, or attempts to harm you, a Scorpio internalizes it as a personal attack. It feels like an assault on their judgment, their territory, and their tribe. They will step in to defend you, often without you even having to ask, becoming a strategic shield. They will absorb blows meant for you or deflect threats with a calm, calculated intensity that can be terrifying to the aggressor. They do not seek accolades or thanks for this. In their worldview, it is simply what one does for their own. However, if someone they care about betrays them, or worse, if an enemy uses their loved ones as pawns in a strategic game, the guardian transforms into a warrior. The protective energy inverts and becomes a focused, calculated force of retribution. This is what makes them so powerful. Their love is not a passive, gentle, or sentimental emotion. It is an active, strategic, and deeply purposeful force. You cannot control a person whose actions are fueled by such a deep, primal well of loyalty. They possess a crystal clear, binary understanding of who is inside their circle and who is outside. If you are fortunate enough to be inside, you will find no greater or more steadfast ally in the entire world. But if you cross that sacred line and threaten what they hold dear, you will discover that the same strategic mind and immense emotional force once used to protect you is now laser-focused on ensuring you are neutralized as a threat, permanently. With a Scorpio, it is always one or the other. You are either sheltered under their wing, or you are directly in their sights.